Losing weight quickly. Let's talk about it. So in this video, I will inform you guys on how to properly perform an aggressive cut. Now let me preface this by saying you probably should not do an aggressive cut for longer than about 4 weeks, give or take. Aggressive diets are useful and can help you shed off a lot of fat within a very short amount of time. But if you overexceed a certain amount of time that you're performing this diet for, it'll have consequences on your health. Therefore, the recommended time to stop is when you start feeling bad, maybe have low energy, maybe your sleep gets worse, and this typically happens after the 4 week mark. If you start experiencing these symptoms sooner, stop. If you experience them later, if you pass that 4 week threshold, feel fine, and you feel it later, stop. So again, typically you should stop within 4 weeks max, but if you do feel alright and want to keep going, the telltale sign to stop is whenever your body starts feeling a lot worse, de-energized, lack of sleep, etc. Now, onto the portion where I talk about how to properly perform one. So keep in mind an aggressive diet is going to be, well, extremely aggressive, right? Therefore, we're not just limiting our calories that we eat per day, we're limiting them by a very, very large margin. Typically, if I'm dieting, what I like to do is eat 500 to 1,000 calories less than my maintenance per day. However, with an aggressive cut, you're gonna have to eat much less than that. So what do I consider an aggressive cut? An aggressive approach to dieting, in my opinion, should be anywhere from 1,500 to maybe 2,000 calories below your maintenance. Now, obviously, this isn't going to work for everybody because for some people, 2,000 calories is their maintenance and they shouldn't be eating 0 calories or 500 calories per day. For those people who are much less active, they should just go on a regular approach. They likely do not have that much fat or weight to lose anyway. But if you are on the heavier side and you are active and all these other factors come into play, you probably can get away with eating 1,500 to 2,000 calories less than your maintenance per day. So for example, if I am to perform an aggressive diet, my maintenance is around 32 to 3,300 calories. That means if I am to cut off 2,000 calories off of my daily intake, I would be eating 1,200 to 1,300 calories a day. We are almost starving ourselves, and that's how we are going to get rid of fat and water weight and a bunch of other weight. Now, will you lose muscle? The answer is no, you shouldn't. During this approach, remember, it's only about 3-4 weeks. You shouldn't be losing muscle. You should lose water weight, you should lose fat, but you should not lose muscle. How do we avoid losing muscle? Well, majority of your calories, if not all of your calories, depending on how low or limited amount you're eating, should be coming from protein. This protein will help keep your muscles. Simply put, it'll help your body maintain the muscle mass it has. Moreover, you should be pushing with intensity in the gym. Your volume does not need to be through the roof. I would recommend lowering your volume. However, your intensity and how hard you're pushing every workout, every set, every rep should be extremely intense. So pushing with extreme intensity mixed with getting in the efficient amount of protein that your body needs per day is a formula which will help your body maintain its muscle mass and keep its energy. So again, once this 4 week mark passes and you start to experience lack of sleep, which means lack of recovery, you start becoming extremely tired and you can't perform well in the gym, well, as I mentioned, these are signs to stop this aggressive approach, because if you continue, these are the factors that will cause you to lose muscle. However, if you diet for only a limited amount of time and you don't experience these bad factors, then you should not be losing any muscle. This type of approach to a cut can be considered a mini cut since you're only cutting for 2, 3, maybe 4 weeks. However, it is extremely aggressive and intense, and you will lose a lot more weight than you would just performing a regular diet in the same amount of short time. So that's how to perform it. Find your maintenance calories, which you can just simply do by Googling or personal experience, trial and error. Once you find your maintenance calories, aka the amount you need to eat per day to keep your weight the same, you have to decrease that amount of calories by 1,500 to 2,000, and you should eat that little with your diet consisting of protein, majority protein, for about 2, 3, 4 weeks. Make sure you're keeping yourself hydrated by drinking a lot of water throughout this entire process. Make sure you're getting in sufficient electrolytes. If you need to supplement caffeine, go for it. But that is how to perform an aggressive cut, or aggressive mini cut, I should say. Now, onto a very important side topic, how to transition from a mini cut to whatever you're going to do next. So when you're eating that little, you can't just bump up your calories so much or even so little. After eating that little for 2, 3, 4 weeks, the best thing to do, in my opinion, is have the following week be a week of eating at maintenance. This will give your body enough time, as I mentioned, about a week to adjust back into place, eat at maintenance, and once that week of eating at maintenance is done, you can assess what your future goals are. You can start another bulk or you can start a cut. I wouldn't recommend diving deep into another aggressive cut right after. Give it some time, but you can go into a cutting phase after by decreasing your calories by 500 to 1,000. An aggressive mini cut approach can be used to start your diet, as I mentioned. You can start it after your bulk, eat at maintenance for a week, and then continue with your cut. Or it can be used in the middle of your bulk. If you notice you're getting too fat, you can throw in an aggressive mini cut there for a few weeks, another week of eating at maintenance, and then go right back into your bulk to ensure you don't get too fat. Or this aggressive approach is a lot of times used at the end of someone's cut. If they want to be extremely peeled and shredded because they have an event or a show or a vacation coming up, they could throw in a few weeks of eating very, very little at the end of their diet. So that's how to perform this aggressive cut. Just make sure you don't do it for too long. Otherwise, as I mentioned, there will be consequences to your health. It is safe to do, but again, only for a limited amount of time. I wouldn't recommend it past 2, 3, 4 weeks, whatever your body specifically needs. Thank you guys for watching. I hope this video was informative and helped you guys. If you did have any questions about this, feel free to comment anything as well. Thank you guys for watching.